Have you ever wondered why some new ideas take off while others fade into obscurity? Why do some innovations spread like wildfire while others struggle to gain traction? The answer lies in understanding how ideas diffuse through society. And today, I'm going to share with you the secrets to creating change by leveraging the power of early adopters. The challenge of change. First, let's talk about the status quo. The status quo is the existing state of affairs, and it's comfortable for most people. Change, especially radical change, can be threatening because it disrupts the familiar. People who benefit from the current system are often the most resistant to change. So if you're introducing a new idea, you're likely to face resistance. But change is inevitable, and it's often driven by a small group of visionaries. The law of diffusion of innovations. Enter the law of diffusion of innovations, a concept developed by Everett Rogers in the 1950s. This theory explains how new ideas spread through a population. According to Rogers, every population can be divided into 5 groups based on their willingness to adopt new ideas. Innovators, 2.5%. These are the visionaries, like Steve Jobs or Richard Branson, who are always looking for the next big thing. They're willing to take risks and experiment. Early adopters, 13.5%. These are the people who are comfortable spending time, money, or energy on something new. If it aligns with their values, they're your key to spreading an idea. Early majority, 34%. These are more practical and cautious. They'll only try something new if they see others have already adopted it successfully. Late majority, 34%, and these are skeptics who adopt only when they have no other choice. Laggards, 16%. These are the last to adopt, often because they're forced to. The key to creating change is focusing on the first 2 groups, innovators and early adopters. Innovators are too small a group to drive widespread adoption, but early adopters are crucial because they influence the early majority. The tipping point. Here's where it gets exciting. The law of diffusion tells us that mass market success happens when an idea reaches between 15% and 18% market penetration. This is called the tipping point. Once you hit this threshold, the idea spreads rapidly because the early majority starts to feel safe adopting it. Starting with why. So, how do you reach early adopters? By starting with why. Instead of focusing on what your idea is or how it works, focus on why it matters. Talk about the purpose behind your innovation, the beliefs that drive it, and the dream you're trying to achieve. Early adopters are drawn to ideas that resonate emotionally, not just logically. Real-life examples. Let me share a personal story. When I was building my brand, I didn't have a marketing budget or social media. Instead, I focused on early adopters. I spoke to them about why I was doing what I was doing, not just what I was doing. They were willing to take risks and experiment, and they helped spread the word. The result? My brand grew organically because I created demand among those who believed in the vision. Another example. In a large company with 100,000 employees, I was tasked with creating a millennial leadership training program. Instead of launching it company-wide with PowerPoint presentations, I started small. I offered the first class with limited spots requiring employees to apply and write essays. I even made them travel to New York for the training without extra compensation. The result? We had a waiting list, and the program built itself through word of mouth from the early adopters. Key takeaways. Don't try to convince everyone at once. Focus on early adopters. Start with why to connect emotionally with your audience. Create small barriers to build demand and exclusivity. Understand that reaching the tipping point, 15–18% adoption, is the key to mass market success. Conclusion. The next time you have a new idea, remember, it's not about convincing the masses, it's about inspiring the few who will carry the torch forward. By understanding the diffusion of innovations and leveraging early adopters, you can create sustainable change and build something that lasts.